Looks like I have no neck. I guess that's the point of a turtleneck. What's up, fam? Don't click off, I'm gonna restart that. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of I Complain About My Life and tell you everything that's going wrong with it. So, I made a video called What is Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome? As I was editing that video, I realized that there were some things that I skipped over that I probably shouldn't have. I just wanted everything to be like raw and authentic, so I didn't write anything down that I was gonna talk about, which probably would have been smart, but I'm not, so that's what you get. I thought it'd be a good idea to talk about what is Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome Part 2 and just touch on some of the things that I missed in my first video. The first thing I noticed when I was talking about it, and I noticed this while I was editing, and I guess I could have put something in there, but I was like just too excited to get the video out into the world that I was just like pish posh, you know, like who's gonna care? Okay, well, a lot of people cared. Originally, I said that the symbol for EDS is stripes, and I said it was because no stripes are the same and everyone's different, and that's why, you know, EDS symptoms are like zebra stripes. I guess you could look at it that way. That's the thing my dad told me. He said that's why Ehlers-Danlos syndrome has zebra stripes as their symbol. Got that in my head, and so I said it in front of the camera. But really what it means is doctors are taught to look for the obvious. So if you hear hooves, you think a horse, not a zebra. Which is why many people are not diagnosed with EDS because it's considered rare. Every doctor is just like, you don't have that, because who has that? I do. I have it. And so do many other people. That's what that means. That's why the symbol for EDS is stripes and like a zebra. I forgot what I was talking about. In the video, I didn't mention anything about this thing called the Beighton scale or the Beighton score. And it's pretty much what I think the doctors use to test your hypermobility and to see if they can classify you as hypermobile or not. So I'm going to demonstrate. It's a 9-point scale. So the first thing they do is they check your thumb, see if you can put it down to your wrist, and that's 1 point. Oh, by the way, do you like my sleeves? They're giving me some big Victorian vibes. Okay, anyway, so another point is to be able to do it on your other hand, because not everyone is flexible on both sides of their body. Then another thing is your pinkies. I don't know why they don't check the rest of your fingers, but they just check your pinkies and they see if you can put it back to like a 90-degree angle and then like a 90-degree angle or more. My pinkies are weird. Look at them. What is this? What are you? That's a point. That's another point. So we're up to 4 points. Another point is checking your elbows. See if they pop out. This isn't the best shirt to do it. This isn't the best shirt to demonstrate this, but it's fine. See if your elbows pop backwards. There you go, you can see that. I really love that you can see the pink dye on my scalp, so please just ignore that. Dyed my hair kind of pink again, and it dyed my scalp vibrantly pink. Anyway, and then another point is to be able to do it on the other arm. So then they check your knees to see if they bend back. Mine don't. Right when I'm about to get up, she does this. That's so stinking cute. What am I supposed to do now? About to expose myself because I have a really nice shirt on and I just have some athletic shorts on. Also, my legs look pink because I dyed my hair and it stained my body. So ignore that, please. They check to see if your knees bend backwards. Mine don't. On either side. And then another test is to see if you can do a stand-up position and touch your hands to the floor. I can't do that either. My hamstrings are very tight and I have moderate to severe scoliosis, which also limits my ability to bend that way. I think that's about, and my knees aren't even all the way back. I guess I was kind of cheating. A point for both knees, and then like a point each for each knees. Each knees. I'm so annoying, I'm sorry. And that's out of 9 points. That's out of 9 points. I can only get 6 out of 9. That is like considered hypermobile. I think it's if you're 50 or above, you're allowed to get like 5 or 4 and still points out of 9 and still be able to be considered hypermobile. And if you're like below that, I think 6 is like the cutoff. If I got below 6 in there, they wouldn't consider me hypermobile, even though it doesn't check your shoulders or like your neck or like the rest of your fingers or your hips or like the rotation of your knees or your ankles or your toes. Like, it doesn't check any of that. Here are things that people with EDS can usually do that doctors don't check for. And that is, you know, all your fingers. So my fingers curve back like this. And then another thing people can usually do, some people, if you're really crazy, some people not only can do this, but they can bend their thumb like to their wrist that way. I cannot. I don't even come close. I can take my thumbs and, you know, like bend them back like that. There was like a viral video of a girl bending her fingers into like a weird, almost looked like a cube shape. I'll try to put a clip. I don't know if I can. It's either gonna be a clip of her or it's gonna be a clip of me doing it, because I made a video of myself doing it, so. Another thing is a thing called praying hands. You can do this. Wow, crazy and wild. And then my hips, put my legs behind my head, but I can feel them. They'll either sublux or I can feel them wanting to, and either way is uncomfortable, so I'm not gonna show that. One time I went to my sports medicine doctor and he was checking my hip and knee mobility and rotation, and he could bring my hip to like a 90-degree angle and then some. And at one point he had to stop because he was like, is this too much for you? And I was like, no. And he was like, okay, well, it's too much for me because I feel like I'm gonna dislocate you. And then he was kind of shook by my hypermobility. Another thing I talked about in my last video is a thing called gastroparesis, and I said that I didn't have the diagnosis yet, but it was something they assumed. Well, your girl got the diagnosis. I have gastroparesis. The test showed that my stomach emptied solids fine, but I had a delay in liquids. Which you think liquids would be the easiest thing. I don't know what's up with that. I'll be making a video about that. Don't you even worry about it. I'm not gonna talk about every single thing I talked about in my last video, just like the conditions that I want to address a little more. One of them was mast cell activation syndrome. And the way I described it in the last video, to me, was fine, because that's how my doctor explained it to me. I explained it as in, if you have some lavender lotion and you apply it one day, you might be fine. But the next day, your body breaks out. And that's kind of the sad truth. Anything can make you break out at any time if your body decides not to like it at that moment in time. It might not be the most scientific explanation. It's not at all. No, there's no might in that, but that's how my doctor explained it to me. So that's how I only know how to explain it to you. So I went to an allergist, and without me even bringing up mast cell activation syndrome, she asked me, you know what mast cell is? And I was like, yes, Sarah, yes I do. She said she assumes it because I have some red flags, but they don't want to jump to that conclusion. One thing that they did say I do have is a thing called chronic idiopathic urticaria, which is fancy medical talk for chronic hives for no reason. They don't know why I get the hives. Pretty much when I get into a shower, which is like, you know, once a day or every other day, don't come at me, I break out in hives in the shower. Whether I use all hypoallergenic stuff or whether I don't, whether I just stand in the water and I don't even use any soap yet, like I'm just getting moist. Ew. Like I'm just standing in the water, you know, and all of a sudden I'll break out in hives and I'll be like, are you kidding me? I'm standing in water. What, am I allergic to water? So pretty much the heat makes my body break out. Those are just kind of the things that I wanted to touch on. Maybe you are looking into those things, or maybe someone diagnosed you with them and you were like, hey, I wonder if someone else has these. And I'm here to tell you, you're not alone, because here I am. But also this is gonna be sounding really sappy, and I'm gonna try to make this scene a little more dramatic so it's not as uncomfortable for me and you. As much as EDS can come with a lot of struggles and difficulties and obstacles in the way, you can never give up. You can never lose hope, and you just gotta push through it. Whether that is working out or just using braces or just taking your medicine on time, doing what you can do right now, no matter how small or how big it is, because there are ways you can better yourself. Yes, it is something chronic and it's not gonna go away, unfortunately, but it is something manageable and it's something worth pushing through. One of my friends actually said something, who also has EDS. She said, my illness is invisible, but that doesn't mean I am. And that is so true. That is most relatable thing I've heard all year. Do things that make you happy. That's why I'm uploading just random videos or even some covers of songs, because that's just what makes me happy, and that's what I like to do in my spare time. There's nothing you can't do, you just have to do it in a different way that someone else might not have to. Alright, anyway, sappy time over. I just wanted to put that out there, and I really hope you enjoyed. You know what to do. Comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and as always, stay hydrated. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye!